What is up, everybody? This is Lyle, No Hippie Trucking and Transportation. I'm coming at you from the Service Plaza in Amherst, Ohio. About 40 miles away from my drop-off tomorrow morning at 0600 in Cleveland, Ohio. Before I get started, I wanted to let y'all know I'm up here repping the Tim Travel shirt right there. If you haven't checked him out, go check him out. Just type in Tim Travels Prime, and that'll bring up his videos. Very smart. You get a little education with your videos, so very interesting if you're into that kind of stuff. So supposed to be doing a video where I was kind of talking about my experience as a trainer and kind of what new trainees can learn from some of the things that my trainees did, both good and bad. And that video is going to take a little bit more time because I just kind of wanted to dig into it pretty deep, and I am extremely tired. I mean, I'm all about running nights, but I'm about my second full week basically running nights those entire 2 weeks, and we're talking about 3,800 miles last week and about 3,300 miles this week. And no matter how good of a night driver I like to think I am, at some point them nights start stacking up on you. So I could have flipped my schedule a number of different ways, whether splitting my clock or doing whatever, but I said, you know what, let me just thug it out and get out here as early as possible so I really have some time to relax. I'm not all into the, let me wander around and lollygag and stop here and stop there. No, this is exactly what I want right here. Almost a good 20 hours before I gotta think about leaving out tomorrow morning. So hopefully after this load, they'll get me back home so I could swing through and get my driver's license. And that's pretty much it. So anyway, had somebody that was thinking about coming to Prime ask me kind of about what our percentage of drop and hook freight was and things like that. I never really thought about that, so if you are with Prime, in the description below, just put whatever you think the percentage is, 50%, 20%, 70%. Just put that in the comments below so this person can kind of get it from a number of different people, what their thoughts are on it. Personally, I think it's about 40 to 50%, maybe more. I really haven't thought about it. A lot of people like dropping hooks more than live loads and live unloads. Personally, I'm kind of leaning towards liking live loads and live unloads better. One of the reasons why is our drop and hook freight a lot of times is done at these meat plants. Reasons I don't like picking up there: first of all, it's like the loads are very rarely on time. I mean, they're within the window sometimes outside the window, and sometimes that becomes a problem if it's not in regards to getting your load somewhere on time, which rarely isn't the case. A lot of times you might have been up for a while, then finally the load's ready, and now you've been up a long time and then got to drive that out. Now that's usually not a problem for me, but you still just don't get good rest. You never get good rest when you don't know if you're going to be ready in 10 minutes or 10 hours. So that's one of the reasons I don't like a lot of our drop and hook freight. Again, some of the meat plants, I'd say 75% of those places are just horrible places to pick up. Whether it's a dirt lot and it's muddy or slippery. I've had to get towed out by a bulldozer at one of them because it was so muddy out there. They're just not, I just don't like them. Maybe I'm just old school. I just like backing into a dock and letting them do their thing and letting me get some rest at that point. But those are the main reasons I don't like it. I mean, some of these places where we have drop and hook loads, you know, like a Hershey plant, typically I don't have problems with those. They're usually on time. Or anything, let me just say anything other than meat, I think. But again, I don't have a problem just backing into a dock and getting some rest and relaxation. Stuff like that. So if you can, guys, in the description below, like I mentioned before, just put what you think the percentage is on it. One thing I can tell you about it, you know, is you can almost predict when you're gonna get a drop and hook or when you're gonna get a live load or unload. If you have an old trailer that you really don't like, you can best bet that your next load is gonna be a live load. And if you have a perfect trailer, brand new, or a newer trailer, you can almost guarantee that your next load is going to be a drop and hook, because you always tend to keep the trailers you don't want and get rid of the ones you want. So that's a good way to predict whether your next load is going to be a drop and hook or a live load unload. Yeah, that's really it. I am still working. Well, I haven't worked on it. Like I said, I've been tired, but I am going to come up with that video because I think it could be slightly helpful to new people if they just kind of listen to things that I thought were things that my trainees did very well. And all of them did everything really, you know, well. Some of them just did things better than others. But they were all very solid trainees. But anyway, enough about that. I'm gonna take advantage of this time to catch up on some sleep. You know, like I said, once I picked up this load in Washington, it was pretty much, you know, I drove that first load as far as I could out that day. Then it was the next day. I think I drove my clock almost down to like 4 minutes, and the next day I drove it down to like 37 minutes. Today I drove it down to an hour and 34 minutes. So it's just been non-stop. So I'm looking forward to a bit of a break. But anyway, that's it. Just wanted to stop in real quick. I appreciate you guys stopping by No Hippie Trucking and Transportation. As always, comment, subscribe, and I'm out.